Slow month at the food bank, and this was another slow week for this slow month. Because of bad weather. Still in February, got one more week left. So I did get a chance to check out the Tuesday food bank and got some information on that tip. But I didn't do the Monday food bank, bad weather day, and I didn't do the Wednesday food bank. There wasn't no Wednesday to do this food bank. I could have went to one though. It's always wanted to go on Wednesday, but this would be the monthly ones. So I'm going to try to do the monthly one, at least to that one monthly one at Focus Hope. This Wednesday coming up, the last Wednesday of this month. But no, I didn't do Wednesday, but I did do Thursday. I missed Thursday last week. It was a doctor's appointment, but I did Thursday this week. So Tuesday was cool. You know, we got some canned goods, mostly canned goods. They had the rice this time. Like I was looking for the rice, but they didn't have the rice this time. They had some peas. But I got a couple of good canned goods, something I was looking for. And I got the information I was looking for as far as them being a non-profit. So I got my information, I got my food on Tuesday. And I had enough food left over from last week that I really didn't have too much rolling over. And didn't spend too much time at the grocery store as I normally would have if I hadn't, went out. Still doing good on that tip. And also did the Thursday food bank. The last time I went there, the truck was, about 2 weeks ago, the truck was half full. And I talked to one of the persons that was there last time I was there, the lady that used to work at the drugstore. And she told me that I gave her some advice. And she knows some of the people at the food bank church, some of the church members. But she's not a church member at the food bank. So you know somebody, they might let you volunteer. Then you can be on the inside track and you won't have to be in the middle of all this chaos trying to get through that door. So I come back this week after missing a week, and I see that she's on the inside now. Sitting now on the inside with her son, and she ain't got in the loop, which I ain't mad at her, if you know somebody, then I don't feel like she's taking advantage. Just feel like that. Because the members of the church, they go back before the food bank, even before they start doing the food bank. So that benefited her to take my advice and ask them, could she cut some slack, get ahead of the crowd. So she's on the inside now with the church members, getting her first choice before the people even come in the door for the community side. So that's what worked out good for her. I gave her that advice. I see she took it, and it benefited her. And, like I said, she got herself and her son to take care of. And when you go from working a full-time job to going on a fixed income, it changes things for you in some instance. So it might have changed things for her, for sure. And so anyway, I'm gonna work on. I'm still working on her getting that song done. Said she's gonna work on it this week. We talked about the song again. Song I gave over a year ago, the Long Gone Home song. So hopefully she'll work on it, and I'll be able to get my equipment back that she got. Said she might bring it next week. Be a microphone and a recorder. And she said she's gonna try to record on it, but them batteries over a year old, so I doubt she can do that. But I ain't say nothing. She want to buy some batteries for it to record on, she can. But if she don't, then I'm going to let her know that she can use this phone number to record on. There ain't no batteries that required. As long as I pay the phone bill, it's all good. Which is going to be next door. Magic Jack, not next door, but Magic Jack. My Magic Jack phone got a 10-minute recorder on it, which is good for recording from your voice on it. Recording a long message, that's for sure. So anyway, this particular week, they had a big turnout. I'm part of that big turnout. I left out about 12:30, so it took me about 15 minutes to get there. 10 to 15 minutes. I'm there about 15 minutes too. And then I see they have a pretty big turnout this time, especially the truck came a little after 1 o'clock. So it was kind of early. They could go anywhere between 1 and 2. And they had a big turnout, but they had a big load on the truck, especially with meat. They had a little less with the vegetables part, but they had a lot of sweets and meats. And the water part and canned goods was on the low end. I didn't get a chance to get that or any fruit because I hung back a little bit and let the ones that like to be in front of the line get on and off. Because I like to lay back a little bit now so I can pick up the bread for the dog and the birds and the squirrels. So I give me a box of that, and I laid back a little bit for that. So this one lady that was there, she had been there earlier. She had came with somebody who had, was a frequent person that used to be come to the food bank all the time, but I hadn't seen him lately. But he popped up with her, and she thought it was a good idea to make a phone call. So she had signed in and did her paperwork. But this one requires you on Thursday to do your paperwork. The High Drama Food Bank on Thursday. You know, and this one requires you to do paperwork now for cleaners. Not cleaners, but Forgotten Harvest, I'm sorry. Because they get a Forgotten Harvest truck. So she had did the paperwork, but she looked around and seen how much food they was bringing in. But she wasn't aware that a lot would go out to the houses and stuff. And she see them loading up like that. And she didn't make some phone calls. So about three or four people must have showed up. And the one person was her father. But she had asked for a box once we got on the inside, because I eased on up front a little bit, get in front of the one she had made the phone call, so I could be about in the middle of the pack. And she was with the five. Group of five came in. She was with that group of five. Then later another group of five in right behind her, so it come out to 10. So her father was through boxes, through people behind us, and she had asked for a box because she didn't come prepared. She didn't bring no bags. They didn't bring no bags or nothing. So they hooked her up with a box, and then she passed it on back to her father. To make sure his father got a box. So she was looking out for her father, which was cool. Then she got a box in front of me. Then I went around her, but it was kind of funny because the door lady, I call her the door lady, because when she came on that door, she be running it then. Her personality changed. That's why I nicknamed her the door woman. When the door woman, when they got that list, and made sure that she looked around and didn't see some faces that was familiar. So she went and got the list and said, "You ain't signed up. I might not be able to serve you." You know, she said, "I won't be able to serve you." That's like that. We will not be able to serve you. But she did serve them at the end, which was cool. But they had a full truck this time. And they kept bringing in one boxes after another, especially with the meat and the donuts, the sweets. They had them 2 tables loaded up and plenty of bread, of course. So those 3 areas were loaded up. And the other 2 areas, the canned goods and any drinks you might have in the bottom, and the fruit was on the low end. But the other 3 in it, which is the bread and the sweets and the meat, was on the high end. So she let them in eventually, but she made sure they came in last. And people that signed up on the paper came in front. So this time the door woman did come in handy for me, because I was able to come in and get in front of the crowd and come in on the next group of 5. By then, she was up front with me with the box, but by the time I went around her, we went to the meat section. There was 3 pieces of meat you got, plus the extra meat they gave you, which they had a lot of hamburger. They had small packs of hamburger, 1 pound hamburger packs. Yeah, it's already covered, not the one that's in the wrap. So anyway, it was a good day for the food bank, but it always happens like that. When you get a group of new people, if they have a good run on it, they're going to put the word out, and they're going to come prepared to come back and get that same run the next week. So we always get that food bank always get a cycle of new people, but as soon as they have a bad run, where they don't get a whole lot, then they'll fade away. So that runs in a cycle with that food bank, as it do with most food banks. That's one of the things about food bank. It goes in a cycle with a group of people that's going to show up. And as soon as they figure out that it ain't going to be consistent like that all the time, when you get a good run on it, it's a hit and miss situation. And a lot of times they'll fade away and then stop coming back. But on this day, they got a good hit all the way around. So there was a group of 4 or 5 of them. So they got at least 20 pieces of meat and 20 pieces of getting 3 sweets, so they can come back and get the 4th one. You're getting 15, 20 pieces of sweets. So they had a good run. There's one lady there, though. She was bitching about how they was doing it and how they was taking and putting their part. The houses were coming in getting their food first, and then the volunteers were getting theirs second. And she was complaining about that. There's always one that always come there complaining. You get a chance, excuse me, I always got a hiccup or something. So I can get the horse voice already and did the hiccup. Them two things I guarantee anytime I'm doing a podcast. And it's guaranteed to happen. It never fails. Anyway, the doors got glass in them. So you ever see on the inside when they shut the doors. And people always have a tendency to go to that glass and watch them and see what they're doing. It just never fails. And when they see what they're doing, they go to complaining. And once you get one person complaining, there's another person that complains. And they know how the routine go. There's one young lady that comes there, that frequently comes there, and they're hip to it. And one they used to play the card that was a member, but they don't let her do that no more. Or she wasn't an active member. She joined the church just to get in front of the line, where that played out for her. But she wasn't participating as an active member, so she lost her status, so she's back with the rest of us now, with the rest of the community. So that played out for her. But she was complaining about them taking stuff out. And we already know that they got their choice people that's going to take stuff out, that's going to come in, and they might have houses they can want to, or senior citizens in the church they might be taking it to. So that, there ain't nothing to complain about. When you get there, you're going to come out with something 9 times out of 10. Not 10 times out of 10, but 9 times out of 10. And there's going to be that one time where there ain't going to be that much to go around, and you're going to come up short. So my man brought his lady friend with him, this other guy with the community, and they got in front of the senior citizens. Normally he'd be behind the group of senior citizens, but since they had a lady friend, they got in front of the senior citizens. And, like I said, I don't be sweating. If you need it that bad, then go ahead. I ain't going to try to get a bitch about no free food or could be complaining about no free food. That's for sure. I'm going to get mine, and whatever I get, it'll be what it'll be. And I ain't going to never complain because, you got to be grateful for getting something. It saved me on my grocery bill over the weekend to get these 4 pieces of meat. So that's less money I got to spend at the grocery store. And if I miss another Monday, it'll cover that Monday and going into that Tuesday. So hopefully I can go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Hopefully I can go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week and have a good run towards the end of this month. But anyway, that lady was complaining a lot. But at the end of the day, she came out with a whole lot. Because it was a good day to run with it. She didn't get all of whatever everybody else got. She didn't get nothing to drink and no candy and no fruit. But she got plenty of sweets and plenty of meat on as it go for that. But we had one box. They'd be unloading these boxes of bread. And a lot of times with the bread, they put their bread inside of a box that had sweets in it. And sweets be at the bottom and the bread be on the top. Well, they had discovered one of them boxes. And they had no problem running through that. And the one was doing all the complaining, she was the one that ran through it the most. So when all that complaining was over, she had no problem taking advantage of the situation. But just what happens when you get a free run on that bread boxes. If you go through it, you might get lucky and find some sweets in there. So you won't be limited to 3 or 4 sweets as you come back around the second time around. So anyway, they had enough that people came back and lined outside the door again to go around the second time. And they made them start at the sweet table and not the meat table. And they shut the meat table down. The lady that was doing the meat table, she shut it down. She didn't let you go around twice. The other lady had been there, which she would, but if she had been in charge, she would let them go around twice. So it all depends on who's in charge, how things going to work out. But anyway, people always getting jealous of somebody else getting more than them, especially if you're new to the game. First time been there, you don't know what's happening, you complaining. So that's how that one lady did. She on the phone complaining like a big dog. But at the end of the day, she left out with her basket full, or her boxes full. So she left out with a lot more than she came with. So that's what was happening with Thursday fullback. So that's how I rolled this week. because they ride the bike, still cold weather, and the longer I wait, that's when the bike breaks down. And my battery energy won't stay up. But I ain't made but 2 runs this week. So we rock and roll with the bike and did pretty all right. Did pretty good considering the weather. Looking forward to the weather getting better next month. Hopefully I have a good week coming up this week. And I'm going to take some pictures of my bike and trailer in front of these food banks. So I hope I have me some pictures to set out, to put out there. And it's on this phone that would make me look good as far as my profile with the podcast. So when you try to use all the features up now, that's on here, so that maybe by the end of this next month, it'll be a year that I had this podcast, and I might see, can I put it out there, start putting the word out. I got more than about 6 or 7 hours now, so it's long enough for me to start trying to get people interest in it. So that'll be my next step with the podcast. So until then, later, Gator.